Okay then, hello and welcome back. Oh wow, I called the map once again. This is Stark's home map in Clash of the Titans round 4, game number 2. Of course, DauT is currently leading the series at 1-0. Stark has chosen Arabia as his home map, and it will be an Aztecs war, so pretty, well, I kind of expected that. I kind of said before this started, I was expecting to see that happen, but, you know, I was actually surprised that it was. Anyway, over to the north of the map in blue, playing as Aztecs, we've got DauT, and over to the west of the map in red, we've got RVK Stark playing as Mayans. Actually, I take that back. It's not an Aztec war. It's Mayans versus Aztecs, and that is always an interesting matchup. Obviously, both of them are really strong civilizations, but if you play it right, either of them could really get an upper hand. Of course, you've got to bear in mind that they both have access to champion, and whilst both of them have really strong eagle warriors, throwing in champions there can really make quite a bit of a difference. The other thing you've got to bear in mind as well is that Mayans, if they go for plumed archers, they are going to be in a good position against eagle warriors as well, as obviously the Mayan player, if they mass their plumed archers up enough and back them into a corner, they can still destroy eagle warriors pretty damn quickly. So there is always a little bit of a debate which is better, Aztecs or Mayans in this kind of matchup. But I suppose it always comes down to as well how the players play with their economies, how they harass their opponent up until the castle and imperial age, and how they continue from there. I think really this map is, well, I know it's Arabia, but it's likely that they're probably going to be going into the castle and imperial age here, mostly due to the fact that obviously, both these civilizations do play extremely well in the late castle imperial age sort of time in the game. It's more kind of, I think, Stark's kind of style to probably wall up here and then bust out once he reaches the castle or late castle or imperial age, as I say. I do think, though, that, you know, we saw some feudal age action. This game could end up being pretty short. Of course, if one of them decides to wall up and the other goes super aggressive in the early castle age, they can get in with, you know, rams or mangonels, can get a lot of archers in to their opponent's base and do quite a bit of damage. So it's always worth keeping an eye on that. And I think, really, both of them could go for feudal age here, and it would be pretty good. Not sure what start meant right there, 415 AG. I think maybe you wanted to restart or something. I have no idea. Either way, yeah, personally I do think that in this matchup, Mayans are probably better than Aztecs, but at the same time, it does come down to a lot of other things as well. Of course, how the player is playing on the day, how they go about playing the game, and of course we've seen DauT recently playing so super aggressively, and you know, it's perfectly feasible that DauT could go for some really high feudal castle age pressure, and if Stark has a tough time walling up, which judging by his map he shouldn't do, but if he does, then DauT could put up a lot of pressure for him. And I think really for Stark right here, he's got a very ideal map for walling up. He could wall on the left side, along the front right here, and he's got this gold in the back, which is such a nice sort of thing for him to have. But of course, we can't ignore drushing, and Stark right here going to be taking 10 gold so he can make a drush. DauT, well, let's see if he actually puts up a barracks in just a moment's time. That's kind of funny. Stark blocking that house right there. That's always fun to see. He must have had an idea that DauT was trying to build something there. DauT, though, 6 minutes 30 right now, just gone. We could see a barracks coming down from him. It's very common, of course, to see Aztecs drush. They do have that extra gold right there. Stark, look at that. That is so nicely done by him, blocking that barracks with his eagle. And of course, you've got to bear in mind, Stark wouldn't have been able to see that barracks going down until DauT actually started building it. So kind of funny for him to just do that and actually end up blocking him twice. Obviously, though, Aztecs here are going to be trying to get the upper hand by drushing. They do have, of course, that extra gold at the start of the game, as they don't have to research a loom. So 100 gold in the bank, and DauT probably going to go with 5 militias here. And of course, Stark going to have to do the same, because if he doesn't drush, he will be in for a tough time if he struggles to wall up. And of course, if someone drushes, you've got to be able to counter drush it in most situations. Otherwise, it's just really difficult. Of course, when you've got berries out here and resources kind of out in the far sections of the map, which are quite far away from your TC, if your opponent comes in with a drush, you're going to have a bad time, basically. DauT getting in there with his eagle, trying to do what damage he can. Stark going to have to bring over a second villager, so losing a bit of villager time there, but trying to wall it up wherever he can. And we could probably see him trying walling up a little bit more once this drush is over. Stark as well, seems like he's going to go for 5 militia drush himself. He's continuing to take gold from this pile, and he's taking another 30. He'll take another 10, and he should be able to do the 5. There we go. So 5 militias each, of course expecting that DauT would do 5 militia drush. Of course, there's the 5th militia coming in right now, and we'll see if you can actually do that much damage with it. You've got to remember that Stark is going to be very well aware that this is coming in, and that's a kind of a big deal. If your opponent is unaware, then your drush can really do huge damage, but when they know, it's kind of difficult to get a lot of damage with them. However, if you do keep your militia alive, you could always upgrade them to man-at-arms in the Feudal Age, which is always a fun sort of strategy to see. But of course, drushing does lend itself well to fast castling, and it's likely that both these players will want to go with a fast castle here. That's just kind of what I imagine, because Mayans and Aztecs, they do become a lot more strong once they get into the castle age. Feudal Age, sure, they can go for archers, but really, they don't want to be doing that all that much, because the castle age is where these civilizations really start to shine. So in comes DauT right then, at the front. Going to be seeing what he can find. Of course, Stark here, good walling, I've got to say. Using these houses and palisades and even his barracks to really force DauT through his TC in order for his drush to actually access any villagers. So perhaps DauT's going to try and get through this palisade here. Otherwise, he will be forced to go through the TC, and he will take big losses if he does that. So you've got to bear in mind that DauT has to break through here. He may even aim for the barracks, but either way, just going to hang to this hill. Of course, he will have a hill bonus here. So if he does just stick to this hill, if he fights Stark straight up, then he should be able to win it. But Stark continuing to add in militia right now, and he's adding in a 6th, adding in a 7th right now as well. And DauT perhaps probably not expecting that. Although he is adding in more militia right now, going to keep sending them across the map, and I imagine we will see a man-at-arms upgrade coming in as soon as they hit the Feudal Age right here. This is kind of interesting. Stark just up to Feudal right now. Let's see if he goes for that man-at-arms upgrade. I think he should do it, because of course, with that many militia out, it's going to make a huge, well, give you a huge advantage. There we go. Man-at-arms being researched right there, and they're going to have to, well, DauT's going to have to go back right here. Bringing some villagers in as well, but there's a lot of militia here, and we're going to see man-at-arms fighting, which is really fun. I think DauT, though, was intending to go forwards with towers. Oh, no, going to get that villager caught out. That's not a good situation to be in. DauT losing a villager right there. Going to have a straight-up fight, but that upgrade's going to come in for Stark any second right now. DauT's going to get caught out, losing another militia. Going to lose another one if he's not careful. And Stark now is in a pretty good position, forcing as well a feudal war with those 2 archery ranges going down for DauT right now. DauT researching man-at-arms as well, and has he got the numbers? That is the question. 8 infantry for DauT, 8 for Stark as well. It is so very close. Stark, though, getting into the wood of DauT right here. He can make very short work of these villagers if he gets right on top of them. And DauT is not looking so good, as he's kind of not even sending these villagers back to his TC, which is a really big mistake to make. Gonna want to fight this then, but Stark with a lot more health on these men-at-arms right now, and of course with this hill, he's going to be able to beat DauT in a 1v1 right now, so DauT's going to be very careful. Switching very quickly into archers and, of course, skirmishers right now. Skirmishers just to pad it out until he gets enough gold income, but should just be aiming for archers. Archers will make shorter work of the man-at-arms, of course. And DauT right now just looking to get those involved. Let's see. Yeah, Stark going to do the same. Archery ranges going down. In fact, 3 archery ranges from Stark. And this is fun. I love it when we have feudal wars. I was kind of thinking that they both want to go for a fast castle here. But because they made so many militia, they have forced themselves into a feudal war by having to make them, or both of them having to make archers. So DauT then with a couple of skirmishers in the mix. Going to be, of course, able to defend a little better against Stark's archers here. But DauT getting caught out once again. Stark just going to get right in here on his wood. I'm not really sure what he was thinking there. He left his whole army on this right side. Stark just trundled past. And DauT's losing a lot of villagers right here. Or he might lose a lot of villagers. Losing 1 already. The pressure is on. Of course, going to take a little bit of TC fire there, but disrupting DauT's economy, really being a pain for him to deal with, and that is the kind of play that you kind of want to see with the man-at-arms and with the militia. Going to go for this gold spot as well, and start, perhaps they're going to get in here, get another couple of villagers if he's lucky. Also pushing in on the front with the archers. He has got the numbers that he needs. Just going to regroup his army right now, and I think '4rk likely then, with the man-at-arms, with these archers here, going to have enough to actually push DauT right back. Let's see. Got to be very careful, of course, as archers will out-micro man-at-arms quite easily. DauT, though, going to walk straight into these archers here, losing a lot of his man-at-arms straight away, and of course, DauT probably going to lose a hell of a lot right here. '4rk microing very nicely, bringing these archers back, pushing them forwards, taking them back, pushing them forwards, and it looks like he really does have the numbers he needs right here to push DauT right back into his base. A good 200 score lead right now, and that extra archery range is really starting to pay off. '4rk also has got fletching, so that's going to help his micro out just a little bit more, and he could now go in here, start taking out these villagers on wood, and really damage DauT's economy, because if he does get in, he could easily take some gold here, well, prevent DauT from taking gold, and he's got to just keep the pressure on. DauT switching to skirmishers, and it's of course a very good idea to do so. Skirmishers going to be able to counter those archers fairly well. And I've got to say, '4rk is looking like he's in a pretty good position right now, adding in a 4th archery range. Now that is something you don't see all that often, but he is really going to keep up that archer production by the looks of things, and that's interesting. It's something you wouldn't really expect to see, but he's going to do it. And DauT right now is still only on 2 archery ranges. If he's not careful, he could find himself losing a hell of a lot if '4rk gets in. Unaware, of course, that he's on 4 archery ranges right now. Double the military production then. And for '4rk, that's going to be a lot. DauT is starting to wall up a little bit, but still open on the front, you've got to remember, and that is going to be a little bit difficult for him to deal with. '4rk as well could get around on the right-hand side. And so far, DauT seems to be a little bit sloppy at the moment. Actually researching Town Watch right now, so he gets a little bit of a better line of sight. Gives himself a little bit more time to react to '4rk's army. But that is a hell of a lot of feudal age production right here for '4rk. But of course he is making archers, so he still should have a pretty good castle time. And then obviously upgrading to crossbow and getting bodkin arrow is going to be the most likely decision that he'll make. But obviously so many more archers now, 26 for '4rk, and we look at DauT's 17. He is vastly outnumbered. '4rk going to be looking for a way in. Let's see what he can find. Of course, castle time is going to be so crucial. DauT now is about to hit up to the castle age, and then he will likely likely go for the crossbow upgrade. Perhaps adding in some eagles to do a little bit of raiding, but '4rk should be pretty walled up by then. He's already looking like he's fairly walled by now, and still adding in more houses and buildings to make sure that his economy is nice and safe in this back area. I'm kind of a little bit surprised, to be honest with you, that '4rk hasn't been putting more pressure on. Of course, he has got much more numbers, but if DauT does get the crossbow upgrade, and if he does get the bodkin arrow much sooner than '4rk, he could still kill his archers off very quickly. So '4rk is going to be quite far behind in getting up to castle right now. DauT's already about 40-45% of the way, and '4rk is only just clicking up. So we'll see what he can do, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that much. DauT already walled up, of course, on this right-hand side. Maybe he'll kill this villager. Nope. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. I actually thought that villager was going to get away. But yeah, DauT's going to be walled up right now. And, a little bit of an engagement in the middle. It looks fairly close because, remember, a lot of '4rk's army is on this right-hand side. '4rk has got this hill though here, but DauT seemingly with a few more numbers could actually push in as soon as he hits castle, because he will get that upgrade advantage very quickly indeed. So DauT could really push '4rk back here, even though '4rk has the most numbers. 26 ranged for DauT, 36 for '4rk. He's closed the gap a little bit at least, and '4rk now going to carry on attacking these palisades right here, but DauT heading straight over. And it looks like he's going to end up trapping him. Let's have a look if he can do it. Castle Age for DauT, crossbow straight away, bodkin arrow straight away. That's expected. '4rk, though, quite away from castle yet. He will keep an eye on '4rk right now, see when he hits up to castle, but he could lose this army pretty quickly. Going to retreat away, but there's DauT waiting for him. And that upgrade, well, those upgrades are going to come in just a moment. Stark trying to micro as nicely as he can. DauT going to close the gap, though. And that army for Stark going to get cleaned up so quickly. And DauT retaking the score lead right now in a very nice little display right there. Very close as well. That palisade almost went down with only 40 HP left. We have a look at the numbers. Stark on 34, DauT on 25. He's still behind in numbers, but he did get that Castle Age upgrade first, and now with that Siege Workshop on the front, going to have a Mangonel out very soon as well. But look at this, so many archers from Stark right now, and of course the crossbow and bodkin arrow upgrade will be coming in just a moment's time. They're pretty fast upgrades, so there they are, pretty much done right now, done and done. Stark's got to be careful though. He could still run into this Mangonel. Oh, just going to miss, and focusing down that Mangonel quickly. Good micro from Stark right there. The Mangonel goes down, and DauT now is outnumbered massively right here. He's got to be very careful. Got to micro this one as well as he can. So far, doing a pretty good job. But again, got to be very careful because Stark does have so many more numbers at this stage. DauT getting another Mangonel out for now. Of course, it's all about making those hits count, and he's missing right now, which is really bad for him. But a Stark walking right into that. Going to lose again another load of crossbows for absolutely nothing. And I've got to say, Stark's have been a little bit sloppy with his with his micro at this stone. He's saying, yay, patrol. To me, it didn't look like he actually patrolled that at all, because his units did not attack when he saw DauT right there. So kind of really interesting to see why that sort of messed up so much for him. Losing a hell of a lot right there for absolutely nothing. And DauT now with 2 Mangonels could really catch Stark off guard. Of course, Stark, no Mangonels to speak of just yet. And, you know, with 2 Mangonels in the mix, could be really tough for him to actually defend. We'll have a look. DauT going to make a push uphill. He's still got the numbers here to push on the front, but of course can't ignore that Stark is attacking this house right here. But I thought he was actually going to send that Mangonel over there. But, you know, as I say, Stark going to have a very tough time microing against 2 Mangonels right here, which is pretty tough for him. But he is still looking for a way in. And that, of course, is going to be through this house. DauT needs to respond to this because the house will go down. It's on less than half health, but he is bringing in a Mangonel right now. And, of course, if Stark is not in this army, that Mangonel will do a huge amount of damage. Looking for another way in on the top. Could find it. 2 Mangonel, well, sorry, 2 palisades to go through, and DauT sending a counter straight over to Stark's base right now. Stark, though, hasn't got anything to defend with. All of his military over at this top side looking for a way into DauT's eco. Almost breaking down this house, but the Mangonel is there. If Stark micros against it, though, he could find his way in, which is going to be tough for DauT to deal with. Let's see if he can get this Mangonel shot. It's going to be so important that he gets this, but Stark paying attention. The Mangonel being fired upon. And he is going to have to go back unless he micros this really well. DauT, though, with 2 Mangonels on this front right here. And Stark's only on the 1 TC as well. So, going to be pretty tough for him to defend his economy here. With these 2 Mangonels battering away at this TC. Again, Mangonels coming in, and DauT making excellent use of these. He's got so many out already. And they are able to do huge damage against the crossbows right here. Mangonel each, and oh, very close. Of course, 1 Mangonel shot could take out the entirety of, well, both Mangonels from DauT if he keeps them together. But when we saw that DauT versus Fate Black Forest War, we saw DauT's micro on these Mangonels, and it was absolutely superb. His micromanagement is very top at the moment. So, oh, there we go. 1 trade each, and DauT now got to have the numbers to push Stark back once again. And I've got to say, he's been playing this Castle Age really nicely indeed. But Stark, regrouping his army once again right now, should have enough here to push in and deal with DauT. Of course, DauT going to get up to the hill just in time. Moving in right there. Mangonel hit comes in, but it's not enough. DauT, though, looking pretty reasonable here. Looks like Stark should be able to take out the rest of these crossbows with more crossbows coming in. Should be able to flatten that. Yeah, there we go. DauT cleaned up right now, but back at home, DauT's already got his 2nd and 3rd TC running. His economy looking absolutely great right now. Defending with just Mangonels should keep him alive for the time being. And I've got to say, his economy is looking great. If we have a look at Stark, he's only just got 3rd TC up. A moment ago, he was literally just on 1. So, I've got to say, DauT is looking pretty good right now, but Stark, with a much more military, could really start to make a bit of a difference. DauT, though, as I say, up to the Imperial Age. Well, he's got a great economy, enabling him to get up to the Imperial Age so quickly. No army, so to speak of, but the barracks going down on the front right now. And DauT going to keep microing these Mangonels as best he can to deal with these crossbows from Stark right here. Got to be very careful. Could lose the Mangonel. There we go. Another one goes down. Start making pretty good gains right there as he keeps flattening those Mangonels. And DauT right now could lose a hell of a lot if he's not careful. Nothing to defend with aside from 2 Mangonels right here. Got to make sure he micros these well as Stark's in with the crossbows. Oh, look at that. Flattening almost his entire army right there. And again, another huge Mangonel hit. Jesus. DauT killing so many crossbows right there. Stark must have had about 15 to 20 crossbows and absolutely nothing right there he could have done to avoid those Mangonels splitting into them and once again getting cleaned up. DauT looking in a great position right now as he's just about to hit the Imperial Age. And Stark is still castle. Of course, we know what Imperial Aztecs means. It means mass Eagle Warrior spam. The Eagles are already coming out. Stark with about 2, 4, 6, 8 crossbows left right now. Still looking to kill and take out whatever economy from DauT he can. But DauT is about to hit the castle Imperial Age. And he's already got the Eagles coming out, so raiding will be incoming. Imperial for DauT right now. Stark quite far away. He needs another 500 food. And DauT is still, at the moment, just trying to deal with these crossbows. But once they're down, not going to be a problem at all for him. Oh, good again. I've got to say, DauT's micro with his Mangonel was absolutely incredible. I've got to say, attacking ground with them so effectively, really judging very well where Stark's going to move his army to, and making very short work of those crossbows with minimal losses. Doing such a great job with that. But Elite Eagle Warrior is now done. Stark trying to get up to the Imperial Age. There we go, he's clicked up right now. 2 castles on the front though, and quite a few plumed archers out, so obviously, DauT's going to have to do as much damage as he possibly can right here. He needs that +4 defense. Of course, these guys are able to defend against arrows very effectively. DauT, though, with that Imperial Age advantage, going to sneak by with those Eagles, look to take out what eco he can from Stark right here. And it's going to be Plumed Archers against Eagles. Plumed Archers should come out on top if they're massed up enough, but DauT, of course, has got the slight advantage of time right now. Perhaps we're going to see, there we go, Capt Ram and Siege Ram for DauT very soon. But Trebs wouldn't be a bad choice either. But at the moment, you've got to bear in mind he doesn't have a castle. So, obviously investing most of his resources right here into the Eagles. Pretty sure he's spent some of that stone. Not sure what happened right there. He had taken a lot of stone. I'm not sure. Either way, looking for a way in here though, but again, gonna die very easily to these plumed archers. As I say, those plumed archers gonna be able to make pretty short work of the Eagles if they're massed up enough, and that's exactly what Stark is aiming to do right here. So many walls on the front. Look at this. Just an absolute mess of walls right now to try and defend these castles as best he can. Siege Ram though should be on the way for DauT very shortly. There we go, it's actually on 75% right now. And once those Siege Rams are out, DauT's going to be looking to make a big push forwards. You've got to bear in mind, Siege Rams and Eagles are a pretty tough combination to deal with. Perhaps we could see him go for Onager as well, as that would of course give him a nice little advantage against the Plumes as well. But Siege Rams coming in, Stark only just getting up to the Imperial Age right now, and this is his entire army production at the front right here. These 2 castles are where it's at. DauT finding a way in straight away, looking to take this out as best he can with these rams, but of course they're going to take up so much arrow fire. He may actually take down these walls pretty damn quickly, as obviously these guys do have area and splash damage as well. Keep an eye on DauT's siege workshops right now. No Onager upgrade just yet. But if he does do that, it could be huge. Eagles getting in. These plumed archers then going to be going down pretty damn quickly as well. Wow. This is an absolute mess. This is kind of crazy, all these walls and stuff, but DauT going to start making work down on this castle right here. Plumed archers are doing a pretty good job of taking out the Eagles, actually. A lot of Eagles lost for DauT right there, but DauT looks like he will be able to take these castles down. And Stark going to have to resort to plan B. Castle going up in the back of his base right here. But these castles are goners. Absolute goners. Too many rams for Stark to deal with. No eagles out to attack them. And DauT's probably feeling like he's in a pretty damn good situation right now. Eagles starting to push on the front. Ram train just coming forwards. And he's gotten really heavy on the rams here. And I think that's a really good decision to make. They are going to soak up so much arrow fire. And now, Stark, absolutely nothing here. A couple of castles on the back to try and get those plumed archers out, but not switching to Eagle Warrior and just walling up behind this. DauT, he will find a way in. There is no doubt about it. There's so many rams right here. Of course, this university is going to go down very quickly. There's no way Stark is actually going to be able to wall up fast enough against this many rams right here. And DauT is just waiting. Eagle Warriors ready to go. And in he goes. Eagle's going to get in there, take out as many villagers as he can. And wow, surprisingly, Stark's still walling up behind this. Going to keep on walling. Of course, that's costing him quite a bit of stone. And he's actually just about to run out. So he's actually not going to be able to wall any longer. No military production yet again, and this is almost like a repeat of the first game. He's under a lot of pressure, but there's no military production at all. A few plumed archers being created on this left hand side, but it's nowhere near enough, not against the amount of army that DauT has right now. And Stark is out of stone once again, so not going to be able to stop DauT from getting through these walls. That Mangonel doing pretty good work against the Rams. Castle on the front for DauT as well, and the Onager upgrade. So expected upgrades from him, and he's in. The Eagles are going to come in right now, and this wood, may as well just say GG to that wood right there, because the Eagles from DauT are going to start streaming in any moment. And of course, they're going to do very well, make very short work of Stark's economy. Stark, though, just running away with his villagers. He's not willing to give this up, even though his economy is in such a huge threat. This is kind of mad. Kind of mad indeed. Stark is losing so much right here. I don't know if he really thinks he could do this, trying to take gold at this top area, but DauT has already got villagers here. He could pretty quickly send up some eagles over there and take out the remainder of these villagers. Castle on the front for DauT, as I say, that's just about to finish, and he's going to cut down every villager that runs past right here. And I've got to say, Stark, what is he going to really do right now? I mean, he's just lost so much economy. He's down to 69 population, DauT on 160. Losing these villagers on the gold count, but those eagles, as I say, are going to go up there straight away and finish off these villagers. Stark is just not able, I feel, in this situation to come back from this. These rams just making so short work of him. He's just not got an answer to them. Obviously, plumed archers are great against the eagles if they're massed up, but against the rams, they really do lack. And I don't understand why Stark's continuing to play on right here. He's surely got to realize at this stage he's not going to bring it back. His population down to 66. It's dropping very rapidly. DauT making short work of these villagers at this gold spot on the north of the map. And this is Stark's home map, remember. There we go. GG from Stark. Very well played by DauT indeed. Especially after having a very kind of rocky, dark and feudal age. Stark did a great job of harassing his economy, pushing DauT right back into his base during feudal, well, dark, feudal, and early castle. But once DauT got up to imperial, with such a huge advantage in time, he really pushed Stark back, and Stark really just didn't have anything to stop him. He did hang in there for as long as he could, but DauT just had that in the bag, and very well played indeed. This was Stark's home map. So that's it. Game 2 going to DauT. Game 3 coming up in just a moment. And of course, Game 3 will be DauT's home map. So don't go anywhere, guys. Game 3 will be coming up in just a moment. And we'll just leave this.